All right, let's look at Theorem 3, side angle side inequality. All right, so if we assume that AB is equal to XY, so we know that the AB is the same length as side XY, and assume that the angle angle A is bigger than angle X, right? And also we assume that the AC is equal to XZ, right? Then this if and only if the side opposite from the larger angle is larger than the side opposite from the smaller angle, right? So we want to say BC is greater than YZ, right? Then this goes the other way around too. So if you we have to assume that these AB equals XY and AC equals XZ. Then if BC is longer than YZ, then opposite angles are larger than the opposite angle there. All right. So I'm going to do a picture proof since textbook has the proof there. All right. So here's the construction. All right. So you compare angle A and angle X. Since angle A is larger, we can construct, we can kind of cut it down the angle this way, right? Let's construct, let's call this guy D, right? Such that it's going to match the angle there, right? So match the angle, and also have the same length as AC and XZ. Right, we have that. Then the next step is I'm going to split this angle in half. So I'm going to draw a bisector here, right? Wherever it hits the segment BC, I'm going to call that point E. Right? Then I'm going to just add a segment there, right? So again, we made sure that this angle here is congruent to that angle, right? Then also I'm gonna add BD. All right, so you can see that the let's look at the couple pairs of congruent triangles, right? So I'm gonna look at this guy. So ABD, this is going to be congruent to XYZ, right? Because of the side angle side. So I'm going to just write that. Triangle ABD is now congruent to triangle XYZ, right? So which means that this length is same as, so actually maybe I should do that, is same as that length, right? Corresponding. And also, so this is by side angle side. And also, we're looking at the triangle AED and the triangle AEC are congruent because again side angle and the shared side, so side angle side, right? So this tells you that here maybe I should say, so this tells you that BD is equal to YZ, and this guy also tells you that DE is equal to CE. All right. Then we can do triangle inequality. So if you focus on this guy right here, all right. So let's start with YZ, all right? YZ, right? Which is equal to BD. Right? By looking at this triangle, so BD is going to be smaller the sum of the other two sides. So it's going to be BE plus ED, right? But ED or DE is same as CE or EC, so this is same thing as BE plus CE or EC, right? Which is equal to BE plus EC is going to be just the BC. Right, so therefore we know that the YZ is less than BC. Right, so we have that. Alright, so this is the picture proof of this direction. Alright, and if you want to prove the other direction, I'm going to just sketch the proof of the other direction. Alright, we can actually prove this implication to establish it. Alright, so you assume that BC, so assume BC is greater than YZ. Then we look at the three cases, right? Measure of the angle A is, let's say, less than measure of the angle X, right? And or measure of the angle A, oh, maybe I'll do it this way. So here's a case 1. Right, case 2 is measure of the angle A is equal to measure of the angle X. My third case is measure of the angle A is strictly larger than measure of the angle X. Right? As you know that this is the guy we want to keep, so let's eliminate the first two. Right? What happens if you assume that measure of the angle X is larger than measure of the angle A? Right? So using the other implication, if this is the case, we know that this implies that since X is larger, so corresponding psi is going to be larger. So this tells you that YZ is going to be longer than BC, right? Which is going to be a contradiction against the very first statement here, right? So that's a contradiction, right? How about the if the angles are congruent? So if angle A and angle X are congruent, which means that triangle ABC and triangle XYZ are congruent, right? So which means that the BC and the YZ are corresponding parts of congruent figures, so we know that they are equal to each other. Again, this is a contradiction, contradicts line number 1, right? So therefore, we have what we need by rule of elimination, right? So this is the proof of the other implication, right? But anyway, as long as psi, so the angle, so a side opposite from the larger angle is going to be always longer than the side opposite from the smaller angle, and vice versa. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.